Hey everyone, it's been a while, but I'm back again with another competitive Civ overview, and today we are taking a look at the Bulgarians. Upon introduction in the last Cons DLC, they immediately appeared a big threat and one of, if not the best, Paladin civilizations. They have however gone through some changes that have impacted the way they play, and currently they leave a lot to be desired. Looking at numbers, the civilization performs quite well at lower elos, but struggles a lot at the higher levels. I believe the main reason for this is simply that the civilization is fairly straightforward to play in terms of unit choices and playstyle, and therefore quite easy to execute, while on higher levels they just fall short in terms of economy bonuses and compositions, particularly in 1v1s. The pattern in their Civ matchups are a bit confusing to me, as their best performing matchup is against Khmer, which is one of the best Civs in the game, but it kinda makes sense as Khmer tends to wanna play cavalry, which Bulgarians match nicely with their own cavalry and infantry. But then they also have a great win rate against 3 archer-oriented civilizations in the Britons, Mayans and Vietnamese, and some of these are amongst the best civs in the game. My best guess is that the Bulgarians are mostly winning before Imperial Age, with knights being the core unit. On the other side, they seem to struggle a lot versus one of the newer civs in the Georgians, and also Ethiopians, Japanese and the Huns. I can't see a red thread in this, so I'm assuming that it's mostly inconsistency, mainly at the lower elos. As on the higher level, they will struggle against a lot of these civs, especially those with flexible tech trees with range units as well, backed by solid economy bonuses. In 1v1 tournaments, Bulgarians are often picked on maps where there is room for early aggression, and we've also used them a few times for this purpose in team games, with Game Legion as well. In team games, they're mostly used as a pocket civ for maps like Black Forest, but they can also deliver as a cavalry civilization on more open maps, or an early aggressor on the flank. If you do play on the flank, it's usually man-at-arms with a tower rush and trying to grab a position, and then you're probably gonna transition into some melee type of unit as the game goes on either way. Bulgarians have no bonuses going for them in the Dark Age, but transitioning to the next age, they have the chance for immediate impact as they receive the militia line upgrades for free each age. This has naturally made them a go-to civilization for the man-at-arms opening, and opponents always have to expect the early threat from this opening, forcing reactions that might not even be needed, as you often will simply also just place scouts. These two openings are often aided by blacksmith upgrades that have a 50% food discount and research 80% faster, allowing the Bulgarians to apply immense pressure right from the start. With no access to crossbowman upgrade in the Castle Age, however, you don't really want to make archers, but sometimes skirms will be needed to help versus enemy range units in all ages. You can of course make a few archers in the Feudal Age, but it's never a unit you want to commit to for the long term. As you reach the Castle Age, you will get longswordsmen immediately, but it's still not a unit you want to commit to. Knights will be your core unit in most cases, but you do have a few choices you need to make in this age. First off, your town centers cost 50% less stone, which means you can afford 4 extra town centers if you didn't spend any stone in the Feudal Age, so you can take a very economic approach. Even if you did a tower, you can still make 1 additional town center. However, you also get access to a unique building with the Bulgarians called the Craypost. This is a smaller version of a castle and costs only 350 stone. I personally love to play an all-out aggression strategy with an early man-at-arms opening, followed by scouts or knights, and then mining enough stone to afford crayposts in the Castle Age to then start building them forward in the bases of my enemies. Castles are extremely hard to deal with in the Castle Age, and crayposts are no different, giving you a lot of space control while also being able to produce the unique unit, the Conic. Conic starts off as a cavalry unit, but once you lose all your HP, the unit is dismounted and rises again as an infantry, giving you a solid 2-for-1 deal. It is a very strong unit in my opinion, but it doesn't have the same survivability versus ranged units as a knight does, for example, so it can sometimes feel a little bit underwhelming. However, once the numbers rise, it is a force to be reckoned with and the cavalry unit for the Bulgarians, and the dismounted Conic is just the cherry on top. The only other option I would consider in the Castle Age, besides the knights, Conic, and maybe longswords pike sometimes, are the cavalry archers. In the right matchup and the right circumstance, they can be a decent play, as the Bulgarians do have Thumb Ring in the Castle Age, and also Parthian tactics and heavy cavalry archers in the Imperial Age. Skirmishers will remain your only other real range unit option, as Imperial Age further pushes Bulgarian down the route of melee units. A unique tech that gives the militia line plus 5 melee armor makes a two-handed swordsman and halberdier composition one of the most common ones, supported by a very strong siege workshop, where you will mix in siege onagers, siege rams or heavy scorpions, or all of them. All the siege work technologies cost 50% less food, just like the blacksmith, so it is a natural inclusion in your composition. Particularly on closed maps such as Black Forest, there'll be a fantastic pocket civilization with the infantry and siege challenger composition, but funnily enough, they're quite poor at 1v1s in closed maps. This is simply due to the lack of bomber cannons and a disappointing monastery, two important tools for 1v1s. On more open maps, you'll definitely lean into the mobility with Cavalier, Hussar and Conic, where you can also research stirrups, making them attack 33% faster. We're better off not talking about their water options, as they're honestly a contender for the worst dock in the game. Non-shipwreck galleons are the only decent unit, but at least on hybrid maps they do somewhat okay in the opening because you have some good synergies. Taking gold for a man-at-arms opening to apply pressure on the land combines very well with fire galley production, and also allows you to take advantage of some timings, as hybrid maps generally develop slower compared to land maps only. On paper, the civilization sounds fairly decent, but the issue remains that your composition is very predictable, both in 1v1 and team games, which kind of makes them easy to read and easy to play against, as long as you don't take damage against their early aggression. Overall, a fairly high pick for a Black Forest pocket position, but otherwise you rarely see Bulgarians drafted fast in a competitive setting. Finally, this is how I rank them in the different categories. On land, they get a B, as well as on hybrid. Their water is very bad, as I alluded to earlier, so they will get the worst score possible in a D. On closed maps, they're in a bit of a weird spot, as on Arena, for example, they're not an amazing civilization, but on Black Forest, they can be amazing, so they're kind of landing in the middle here at a B. When it comes to the different ages, their Dark Age is very basic, so a D. Feudal Age is good with the blacksmith timings and the openings, so a solid A for Feudal Age. In the Castle Age, Imperial Age and Post-Imperial Age, they get a B for all these ages, as while they do have some good compositions and some good units, they do lack the flexibility in their tech tree and the power units to really push them up another notch, both for 1v1s and team games. That concludes the competitive civilization overview for the Bulgarians. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, let me know which civilization you want to see next in the comment section below, and I'll see you for the next one. Thanks for watching.